fan of the Hauraki Big Show podcast? Make sure you check out more from Jase, Mike and Keyzie on their Instagram at Hauraki Big Show, or tune in to them 4 to 7 every weekday on Radio Hauraki. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. G'day, fellas.
Hey.
How we going, fellas?
Going pretty grouse, to be fair, man.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The weather's cleared up. I'm looking to go forward to going away for the weekend.
Mate, I am absolutely fizzing at the bung.
I feel like something's going to go wrong.
So, look, man, don't even say that.
Well, it's not going to be me that'll curse it.
I have the exact same feeling.
Yeah.
Because I'm literally going from here straight to the batch.
Are you?
Yes. And I'm like...
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Please, God, no. It's been a year. Come on.
Has it been a year?
It's been over a year, Pugs.
Holy moly.
And
Wow.
something has come up every fucking time.
That's so rough.
So I am actually genuinely going, please, just stay calm.
Well, you know, some people don't even have a batch, Hoity.
Well, I don't have a batch either. It's not my batch. It's the family batch. I don't want people to think that I'm like uber wealthy.
It's interesting, isn't it? We have to walk that line where we have to apologise for things. Like, I've got a pool, but it's okay.
I'm only renting the
and
house.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting fixed on Monday, man. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, you were saying. Yeah.
I've decided that what I want is actually not a pool.
Sure.
I just want a sort of a paddling pool sort of thing that the kid can play in by herself, because the problem with having a pool is she always wants to be in it, but then you have to be in the pool.
Yes.
And that's the part. I like getting in and having a bit of a dip and getting out, but she when you're a kid, you stay in there until you're shivering.
Yeah.
And you'll say to her, it's time to get out, you're cold. She's like, oh, no, I'm not cold. Like absolutely jawbone rattling in her head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing that.
Oh, totally. And I remember with all my girls, they were like that. And it's like the amount of cold that they can endure is phenomenal. It's like exactly that. They stay like in the ocean. They'll be there all day.
Yeah.
Shaking, blue.
Yeah.
Just off their heads with cold, but they don't want to get out.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's amazing, isn't it?
What do you like with the swimming, Pugs?
I love swimming.
Yeah.
I love sea swimming. I was a swimmer as a kid, but I didn't really enjoy it as a kid because I was going to swimming lessons, and that's not fun. Whereas now I love swimming.
How
in the
good
sea.
are swimming lessons, though?
Oh, so good for me now, but
Gotta
back
have
then I wasn't enjoying it.
No.
I remember
I hated that
going
for
to swimming
girls.
lessons in somebody's backyard. I can distinctly remember it, and not being huge on it, but they also taught us at school. It was...
Yeah, I just went to the
every
local
school
pool.
taught it.
Yes. Yeah.
Which it should be.
I still, quite honestly, can't really swim.
Yeah, and I think I just think, and this is not an attack on you individually, but I think our school system, given the country we live in,
Sure.
you should
Surrounded
not
by
be able
water.
to get out of school without learning how to swim. It should be part of the curriculum, because
Yeah.
that's why we've got so many. Part of why we've got so many drownings.
Yes.
It's just fucking insane. And you should be taught how to read the ocean as well.
It's also to do with a lot of schools are getting rid of their pools.
100%, and
You
that's the reason is funding.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's right. They should not be getting rid
Actually, that was one of the great things when the girls were at school, actually, at primary school. They had a really nice pool there, and you could buy like a summer pass,
of it. Right.
which
yeah.
was just
Yeah.
the bomb, man. Like you go, oh, what do we do with the kids? Oh, we'll take them to the pool.
Yeah.
Problem solved all afternoon.
Yeah, we knew someone that had the key to the
Yes.
college one over the fence at Horowhenua, and also we used to do our swimming lessons in about October
Yes.
at St. Joseph's, the primary school, and it was just fucking bone-chillingly cold.
Yes.
You know, like,
yeah.
There is nothing good
Yeah.
about this.
Well, you see, I'm actually contemplating going for a swim this weekend.
Yeah, well,
It's a
I've
beautiful little. It's perfect for swimming. There's no waves or anything like that. It's just do.
I've already been for my first swim of the season, because
Yes.
I go on the 1st of September.
Right.
Which is the first day of spring. I go.
You're
That's the
naked?
day I go every year. No, not on this occasion.
Right.
But I did flash my downstairs at a passing tandem bicycle over in Waiheke.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, boy. You should have seen the look on the dog's face. They had a carrier with a dog in the front in the basket.
On a
Thinking,
tandem bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a tandem. Yeah.
Saw you dude and went,
Got his
what's going on
bulges
there?
hanging out of his head. Ay, chihuahua.
What the hell is going on?
No, senor.
What the hell is going on with
Da,
there?
da, 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 do.
Is he circumcised?
A
Is he
tiny
not
little pecker I had as
circumcised?
well. It was on the way out.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, of course, going into the old cold water there. She does. There's a little bit of shrinkage that does happen. Though I've got plenty to spare.
Sure, yeah.
Shrink away, say.
Isn't it all spare?
Well, it's like... but yeah, actually, because I think the weather forecast this weekend is really good.
This weekend in Auckland, it's really good.
Yes, so I'm fizzing about that. Though technically I'm not in Auckland, but it's near enough to Auckland to take that forecast.
I'd quite like to explore more Auckland beaches.
Oh, I thought you were going to say more sexual endeavours. But yeah,
that.
Well, the problem with Auckland beaches is all the shit that's in the harbour.
Yeah, I'm not really too keen on the poos.
Literally last weekend, I said to my wife, I was going to go down and fish down at West Haven under the harbour bridge there. And my wife said, well, you can't. And I was like, why? And she said, poos.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, what do you mean poos? And apparently there's been some big sewage.
Spill in Mission Bay.
Yeah.
It erupted
Always
and was
happens in
spilling
Mission
for
Bay.
a week.
Yeah. Mission Bay is one of those beaches where you wade out for about 8 kilometres to get up to your knees.
Yeah.
There's
and
a
then
few
at
of
low
those.
tide, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about getting away, I got to tell you. So I'm going to Taupo.
Are you going tonight or are you going to Moz? Oh, no, tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, yeah. And it's lots of hot pools and shit where we're staying. So even though I imagine my wife will be working all weekend.
The Hauraki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki. The Hauraki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
I'm not huge on Taupo.
What about Taupo?
Yeah, I don't mind Taupo.
Ooh.
I don't know. I've always just found it a really weird vibe.
Well, I agree. I've spent a lot of time there. I've got mates that have lived there for years and years, on and off, and I spend quite a lot of time there. And like, sort of in my late 20s, early 30s, I'd go visiting.
Yes.
And the nightlife is pretty horrendous.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I did not enjoy that. And generally, it's a bit of a tourist shithole.
Yes.
But there are good areas, and where we're staying is just all hot pools and stuff, so it'll be a little bit of resort living, I think.
One of my highlights, actually, was my partner and I renting a...
Who's your partner?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you her name.
In case your wife finds out.
In case your wife finds out, yeah, sure.
But in our hotel room, there was a jacuzzi.
Oh.
In the hotel room.
Yes. Was this at the south end of town?
Yes, it was the south end, yes.
Yeah. I stayed at a place that had that in the lounge. It was in the lounge, the jacuzzi. It's hilarious.
Amazing.
You could look out the jacuzzi and you had a view of Lake Taupo.
I thought you were going to say a view of the kitchen.
No. And yeah, me and the wife jumped in there, smashed 3 bottles of wine. We didn't even have wine.
Yeah.
3 bottles of wine we got through.
No, that's good effort.
It's pretty good. Smoked a couple of darts, not in the spa, but I would have if I was allowed.
Because this was quite a while ago that we did this. So I think we just managed 1 bottle.
Right.
And when I say we managed 1 bottle,
I
pretty much had it.
And
my wife had like half a glass that by the end of it was a third of a glass.
And you finished it off for
her. And
her.
I probably polished it off. Totally, man.
Yeah.
But and then we went on this, the last time I was in Taupo.
No.
Taupo. We went on the sailing cruise, and it was just on a massive sailboat that sort of putted along. It was freezing cold.
Yeah. Windy.
And windy.
Yeah.
And we just
That'll ruin it,
sort of went out and around the point and saw these Māori
carvings that were done about 20 years ago.
Yeah. And then came back and it was like...
Cool.
That was 3 hours of my life that I want back.
Yeah, if you get a beautiful day...
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
And it pays to know the locals. Those are the front pugs.
Yeah.
I looked because you looked.
Really
I looked because you looked.
I'm beginning to worry about your relationship, Pugs.
The thing about it is, Pugs, my left eye is blind. We've been through this.
Oh, yeah, the
fireworks. So all I see is, when I'm facing this way, all I see is I can see movement out of the corner of my eye.
When you're looking at me?
So, there. So everything that's on this side of my honker is just a blur
And that's because of your eye and not your honker?
Because of my eye.
Oh, okay.
And then, so I see the movement and I turn to see what's going on.
Okay.
And I only ever look out because you constantly are forever craning your head that way. And so I go, what's Pugs looking at?
Hubba.
I mean, I thought Keyzie was bad, but bloody hell, Pugs, you're next level.
It's the seat every time I get in here.
It's
the
right,
seat.
is it?
You
Yeah.
get in the vibe. You know, crossing paths with you folk. It's all on.
Yeah. Well, that's good, Mogi. I hope you have a nice time. When are you coming back?
Nice afternoon on Sunday.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of options flight-wise.
Right.
But it's can't wait. Better than driving. It's pretty good, man. An hour down there.
Yeah.
Too easy. Bloody beautiful. Cheap as chips.
I've flown out of
Cheaper
there.
than driving.
I've flown out of there, and it was without doubt the most terrifying flight of my life. To such an extent, because there was a massive storm going on, that people were crying.
Yeah.
And stuff was literally smashing. You could hear stuff smashing.
Yeah.
And we did the old whoop when it sort of, the engine revs and the whole plane tips up on its side.
Yeah.
Not good. It was not good.
They had one a couple of weeks ago and going into Wellington, Makapuatu.
Yes.
Sarge. They were going to land on his plane and then it took off as it was about to land.
Right.
People crying and puking on this one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we've all had some pretty hairy landings in Wellington.
Yeah. So considering how long I lived there, 16 years.
Yes.
Fair amount of travel up and down. Nothing particularly. We had one where we came back from Aussie and it did that thing where it went to land and took off, but it was like, oh, really?
I had probably four times ago, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Where once the plane landed, everyone clapped.
Yeah.
Because it was so woo, 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 woo.
The one that we had where we came back from Aussie and landed, it didn't land. It then redirected to Christchurch.
Yes.
And we sat on the tarmac for 3 hours.
Yeah.
That was fucking sick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Could have been worse, though. We could have died. All right? So
True,
if you're going to
man.
complain about it, just remember that, man.
Absolutely, Mogi.
All right, wrap
Good
it up,
point.
Pugs.
Yeah, thanks, Pugs.
Your Hauraki Big Show Keyzie word of the day is
Pull.
One more time.
Pull.
Yeah, cool. If you caught that one and the other Keyzie words, send them into @Hauraki Big Show with your phone number.
Eyes to the front, Pugs.
I'm looking at the screen, and you could be getting a call from us on Monday with a prize. So do that and follow us on Instagram while you're there. Hoodie J, Mr. Mike Minogue, call me Pugs, and don't follow Chris KNZ.
Thanks, mate.